What do holding hands, kissing, dancing, or hugging have in common? As humans, we need attachment. We need an emotional bond with others, and we're going to create it unconsciously or consciously. Hello, my name is Valdo Lallemand. I'm a relationship coach. I created a vibrant couple a year ago to further my purpose of liberating love, connection, and playfulness. This is our Becoming a Conscious Couple series. In the first episode, I laid out the qualities of a conscious couple. In the fourth episode, I talked about attachment theory, why we need attachment, and how to become securely attached as a couple. Today, I'm going to talk about co-regulation as a couple. Due to our deep need for attachment, we find ways to spend time together. Sometimes it is wonderful. Sometimes we basically cling with each other. It's not happening well. We are at odds with each other. When we start fighting with each other as a couple, many of us have learned what I call solo regulation techniques. So we say, hey darling, this is going nowhere. How about we take a break for 20 minutes and then we come back then? So during that time, we may go and basically take a bath, we read something, we hit a pillow, we can go out for a walk. We can also do some journaling or some forgiving work. If you practice yoga or tantra, you may have access to deep breathing techniques that self-soothe and regulate your nervous system. When solo regulating, it is important to avoid food, alcohol, blame, gossip, or porn. So now we're getting to the good stuff, how to regulate as a couple. A huge challenge of regulation is that regulation is something that we can only access to the level we have been taught, to the level we have been guided to. So this is where doing co-regulation as a couple is wonderful because, of course, if you have a good relationship, and by the way, this is one of the ways to build a good relationship, we can learn to co-regulate each other. So the basics. When you notice that you are escalating into a conflict that goes nowhere, you can say, hey darling, we are going nowhere. How about we spend some time apart and then we come back together in 20 minutes? When couples work more intentionally on their relationship, they learn to celebrate progress. The rule of thumb is 5-1, 5 positive reinforcements to 1 talking about problems. Many of the connection rituals that couples have are unconscious, or they have limited connection value. An example of a somewhat conscious ritual would be during the holidays. We do spend time with our loved ones. We do spend time intentionally connecting. But because we do not intentionally create that conscious attachment, a lot of that is lost because we tend to see what is not working, what we don't like, versus seeing what we like and what is working. An example of a ritual that many couples have that has low connecting value would be watching TV together. So here, I have no problem with watching movies together. I have no problem with watching TV together. What I want to bring to the surface is that if we do that every night or every Saturday night with no very deep intent of using that time as a connection, the connection will be fairly limited. So now let's get into the juicy bits of this video. I would love to bring 2 couple co-regulation practices that your couple may benefit. The first one is hugging till relaxed. Basically, both intentionally creating the time and the space to hug until both of you have relaxed your nervous system together. Some of you say, but we already hug. What's the difference? So typically hugs last 2 to 3 seconds unless we intentionally create them. Some of you may say, but we often have hugs that last longer, like when we watch TV and we hold hands and hug. And my answer is the same, is yes, but unless you intentionally, consciously create time and space to co-regulate each other, the good feeling of being together and watching TV will not create the same effects as intentionally, consciously hugging each other until both of you feel that you are reconnected and that both of your nervous systems are relaxed. This is the two of you choosing consciously a time and a place to hug for at least 12 seconds with the sole intent of co-regulation, the sole intent of relaxing with each other. The second practice I want to invite you to consider is deep eye gazing. So here we are entering yogic/tantric territory because it becomes much more powerful when we also breathe deeply together. Same as hugging till relaxed, a practice requires a time, a place, and a duration. So you may say, hey darling, how about we do some deep eye gazing for 2 minutes? If you're a beginner, you may start with 3 seconds. If you are advanced, you may go into a much longer practice session. What matters is that the two of you are able to co-regulate with each other during that time, that you feel that your attachment with each other becomes more secure, that the emotional bond between the two of you becomes more clear, becomes more potent, becomes more accessible. It is very likely that during these two practices, some anxiety shows up. You feel self-conscious, you are not sure that your partner feels you attractive, you are not sure of this, of that. These are normal. These practices are not designed to make you feel on cloud 9. You may, as a result, once in a while, but often all these deep parts of ourselves that we don't like are going to show up. This is where becoming a conscious couple is an advanced practice because you are learning together to intentionally surface those parts of ourselves we don't like, we have repressed or denied, and explore them together as a couple. I was sharing earlier that we can only self-regulate to the level that we have been introduced to. Some of us, it was our parents, some of us, it was a therapist, some of us, it was a trusted friend and mentor. Here, it is the same thing. As a couple, you can only co-regulate to the level that you have been introduced, guided, empowered to. Becoming a conscious couple requires a lot of training, a lot of practice, a lot of guidance. If this video inspired you to liberate more love, please hit the like button below and subscribe so you can be notified when I publish new juicy content. And please share with all you believe would benefit. I look forward to seeing you very soon.